Co-creating is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Yeah.
And I know you are with me all the time.
Been talking about that all morning, haven't we? Yeah. And it is pleasing to us when you're consciously aware of it, because it makes the way things unfold for you so much more satisfying. You're not puppets on a string that source energy is creating through. We are co-creating. You are finding the details that matter to you and finding ways of then letting the energy that creates worlds flow through you toward those things. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
I feel, and I'm so blessed with the people that are coming into my life.
Let's say that in another way. Those were perfect words, but we can say it even better in relationship to what we've been talking about. I feel blessed that I have found a way to consistently redefine my vibrational point of attraction that allows these wonderful people into my experience. And I appreciate all of the less than wonderful people who flowed before and even occasionally now, because they helped me in the differentiation of how that felt and what that was.
Yes, although I use them as a weapon against myself.
Everyone does.
And I'm aware of that.
Those are really good words. You use anything that doesn't feel good as a weapon against yourself.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know what I was doing, so I didn't create a nucleus that provided things that felt good.
Yeah.
And when they got there, I looked at them, I identified them, I explained them, I condemned them, I pushed against them, and practiced the vibration of them long enough that I got very tired of it, and then I decided to stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Abraham, I know you know this. I know the words are not necessary for stating this to you, but I really wanted this for the experience, not for the self-validation. Like every single time I was coming to these seminars, I was raising my hand for the self-validation that I can be on stage. It's not about this. I want you to hear this with the sound from me. You know, I was thinking lately, and it just came to me, I was looking for the perfect coach or a perfect master, like the one who will fix me or guide me so I will be where I want to be. And then it just came to me, like when I listen to you, and you know how much I listen to you.
Yeah, it's obsessive.
Yeah, it is. It's an escape sometimes.
Yeah.
It's an escape sometimes.
Yeah.
But it gives me sense of comfort and the righteousness feeling to it. You're my best coach ever. You're my best coach ever. Thank you for that.
Well, we have the advantage of knowing the laws of the universe, knowing everything that you've ever asked for, knowing where you are in relationship to it, and knowing the path of least resistance to get you from where you are to where you want to be. So it makes it pretty easy for us. But then we're offering that to everyone, and everyone's not hearing. And so the credit goes to you of bringing yourself into the vibrational vicinity that you can feel the resonance with the power and the depth and the truth of these laws, you see. We're appreciating your words to us, and we like that because we are teachers to the core of our being, as are you. But we also want to say that words don't teach. It's life experience that teaches. And so the best coach is, I created an environment whether I knew I did or not, and that happened. And now you know what that means. The best coach is the response to the vibration that you created, because if you liked it, create more of it by talking about the same things, by holding it, by finding the feeling place of it. And if you didn't like it, then do something different in your vibration. Esther's been hearing us. She gets this, and now she is trying to find practical, applicable processes or things to focus upon that help her do it better. So, for example, on the airplane, she will put her seat back an inch. and she will think to herself, what do I really like doing? What do I really like doing? What things do I do that when I do them, I feel happy? Not how am I changing the world and what do I need to do? What kinds of things do I do, or what kind of things could I think about that make me feel good while I'm doing that? And so then she just sort of sifts through the world and thinks about things that she likes to do. And when she gets hold of something, like the first thought that came to her mind was, I really, really, really like buying furniture.
Yeah.
I
Right?
really like that. I
Right?
really like
And
that.
that's okay,
I
right?
really like buying furniture. I like walking into a place where beautiful furniture is. I like thinking about something that I might need, because surely there is a space somewhere in some house that I have that could have something that is nicer. And I like looking around, and I like the universe saying, what about this? What about this? What about this? I like, she's saying to herself, the evolution of the ideas. I like how all of a sudden, all of the pieces of furniture in my entire life are moving themselves around to accommodate this new piece. This new piece that I have not yet even discovered. Because I like doing that. I like the discovery of the new places. I like the discovery of the new pieces. I like moving the pieces from place to place. I like the way the room feels with the new adjustment. I really, really, really like that. Now, there are a lot of people that would call that a shallow topic. They would call it a physical, too materialistic topic. And Esther's only question to herself was, what do I like to do, and what do I like to think about? Now, that's not the only thing that she likes to do, and it's not the only thing she likes to think about, but when she does that and thinks about that, she likes to do that and think about that. I like plants. I like going to places where plants grow. I like being in the environment of plants. I like standing in a greenhouse. I like the smell of the greenhouse. I like the look of the greenhouse. I like the variety of the plants. I like learning about the plants. I like knowing where the plants want to be planted. I like communicating with the plants. I like hearing the plant say, I could use a little water. Hey, you with the hose. I could use a little more water. Hey, you're watering me too much. I like communicating with the plants. I like knowing about the plants. So for an entire plane ride of about 3 hours, she is enjoying not life-changing thoughts, not world-changing thoughts. So what's the point of it? She's practicing a vibration that doesn't keep out the things she wants.
You think I allow people too much to train me out of it?
Yes, you and almost everyone else, Esther too sometimes, because instead of deliberately creating an environment, sometimes it's the reaction. You see, this conversation must feel boring in some ways. You must think Esther's a crazy person, that these are the kind of life-changing things that she's focused upon. But the thing that we want you to hear about this is that when you get hold of this, it will change your life forever. Is that your point of attraction is paramount, and the source within you is a powerful point of attraction. You see, this is something that most of you have forgotten. You have forgotten that your source who came into a body because you've been blocking the source and not responding from that perspective. So instead of feeling worthy, you let people outside of you cause you to feel unworthy. Instead of feeling capable, you let people in their comparative way make you feel not capable. And so source who is flowing to you and through you is disallowed by you so much of the time that you almost need to retrain yourself to let source in. So by picking topics that you haven't thought about so much, you're more likely to feel the way, or allow yourself to feel the way source feels about those things. And the more you allow that, the more you find that frequency, then the more source will flow through you when you're focused upon any other topic. In other words, there's no limit of what source wants to think with you about. But let us just put it to you this way. When you're thinking on your own without source, it's not that clear. When you're thinking on your own without source, you don't feel that clarity. When you're thinking on your own without source, and those words aren't accurate because you can never be without source. You can't pinch yourself off enough that you're really without source. And your evidence of that is that you feel negative emotion, which lets you know source is still there. If source were not still there, and you were focused upon some wretched thing, you wouldn't feel the discord, which is what the negative emotion is, if source were not still in the picture. You follow that? So source is always in the picture with you. It's just how much of that which is source are you allowing yourself to flow? And we agree with you about yourself and about everyone else. You get too heady. You get too thoughty. You get too thinky. You get too talky. You spend too much time talking about too many things. And in the process of that, continuing a vibration that doesn't let in the very thing that you want, you see. You've been hearing us say it in so many different ways, but this is a unique way that we are giving it to you today. And if you can hear it, you can begin applying it immediately, whether you're practicing it on purpose or not. You've got this point of attraction all the time, whether you're doing it on purpose or not. And law of attraction is causing things to respond to it, whether you're doing it on purpose or not. But the difference in doing it on purpose and doing it by default is that when you do it on purpose, you recognize the good stuff when it comes. You recognize it when it flows. And we want you to recognize the wanted and the unwanted when it flows, because all of it is giving you information about what you're doing and therefore helping you to decide what you might want to do otherwise. Jerry always laughed at Esther. Esther did most of the driving in the monster buses, and the bumps on the side of the road were very good indicators to her that she was drifting a little. She didn't hear those bumps and say, "Oh, never mind you. I'm just going to continue to drive right off into the bar pit." She liked those reminders that she was drifting, you see. And that's what negative emotion is. It's a reminder that you're drifting. So if you feel negative emotion and you stop drifting, then you don't have to wait for something to come in to show you that you have drifted. Can you feel the difference? We've been saying for a long while, but that you can tell. 2 ways you can tell what you're doing vibrationally. 2 ways you can tell what your point of attraction is. First is by the way you feel. Second is by what comes in response to your vibration. In Esther's dream, she had a sort of advanced announcement. Yeah.
You know all my desires in this physical manifestation at this lifetime.
So far.
So far. Right. I understand. And there is so much passion within me. I want you to help me.
Don't misunderstand passion for evidence of resistance sometimes.
Right.
Because passion is one thing, yearning is another. In other words, when you want something, really, really, really want something, and you're aware that it isn't unfolding in the way you want it to, you can practice a yearning vibration that will hold it off longer. So we would like you for a little while to stop fanning the flames of passion and just let yourself be content and happy about what is. That's the fastest path of least resistance to everything that you want. You see, it's backwards. Our physical humans translate, they misunderstand something that we say. Because you are action-oriented, and it's sort of what our friend was talking about earlier, you want evidence to come on strong and steady for you. And we do too. We want the evidence of the things that you want. We want you to understand that you're on the trail and feel yourself in the right place at the right time on your path for the unfolding of things. But something that you do, and we can feel it in your vibration here and now, is that you really believe that passion and enthusiasm, because it's stronger momentum, is better under all conditions than just being happy and content and at ease. And what we want to explain to you here is that sometimes as the passion is within you, there's resistance in that passion that is more than contradicting the benefit of the momentum. Did you hear that? In other words, when you hype yourself up, when you really, 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 really want something to the point that you feel a sort of urgency about it, that feeling of urgency means that you've got resistance going on, and the resistance that is present is the problem. Here's a question we're putting to you, just to sort of shake this conversation up. Do you believe that you can create enough momentum on a subject to overcome all resistance?